Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is Friday, November 29th, the last Friday before December. And now the good news here on the New Thought Media Network. Well, we're going to start with a very funny story from where I live. A hilarious sign in Toronto explains what to do if you spot a coyote during the day. Residents of Toronto's Kingsway neighborhood were in for a chuckle after someone posted a hilarious sign about coyote sightings on a telephone pole, which started as a public service announcement but quickly turned into a comedic masterpiece. It says, this is so funny. There it is. Please read. There have been coyote sightings in the Kingsway. Typically, coyotes are nocturnal, but it is not uncommon to see them during the day. Merely seeing one is not a reason to call the police. However, there are certain behaviors that are a cause for alarm. Specifically, coyote carrying a box marked Acme, coyote dropping an anvil from a hot air balloon, coyote posting signs as detour or free bird seed, coyote in possession of a giant magnet, coyote in possession of a catapult, coyote detonating explosives or TNT, coyote launching itself with a giant crossbow. Please contact the police department or animal control if you witness any of the above behaviors. So if you remember the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon, you'll get those little stories. I thought that was pretty funny. A nice little light way to start our Friday night. So moving right along, Kate Winslet, doing good things. She makes dreams come true for a girl who is losing her sight and brings her to the theater, and she funds a safari. So a 12-year-old schoolgirl who is losing her sight was stunned when her favorite actress, Kate Winslet, helped her fulfill her visual bucket list. Not only did the Titanic star donate $5,000 so Lily Ray could see the Northern Lights, she also invited her and her mother to join her for a night at the theater in London. The girl who lives in Nottingham, England, was diagnosed with Stargardt disease last December, an inherited condition that causes blurriness in the central part of the eye. Her mom, Emma, set up a GoFundMe campaign to help her daughter enjoy as many visual experiences before her sight worsens. And the Oscar-winning actress was so touched by her brave battle that she reached out to do something personally. Lily Ray and Emma traveled to London to meet Kate before the trio went to the Barbican Theatre to watch the play My Neighbor Totoro. It just felt like we'd known each other forever, said Emma. Kate was very, very welcoming. Sounds like a funny thing to say, but she was just very normal, very humble. Winslet also arranged for the girl to tick off another item on her list, feeding tigers at the Knowsley Safari Park in Prescott, England. What a beautiful thing to do. Oh my gosh. We are so grateful for her donations and helping raising the profile of Lily's condition. Lily created a thank you card for Kate and her family, and she did it in Braille. Oh, what a sweet thing. She's raised £10,000 for the fun activities on her visual bucket list. There's a lot of beautiful people in the world doing beautiful things to support the well-being of somebody else. So I love that. I love that. All right, so here's another story. Again, high levels of physical fitness linked to lower dementia risk in those with a genetic predisposition. Oh, that's good to know. According to the new study, enhancing cardiorespiratory fitness could therefore be a strategy when a patient has a high genetic predisposition for Alzheimer's disease, and researchers say it may be able to reduce the danger by up to 35%. Okay, everybody, let's get our running shoes on and head for the door. High cardiorespiratory fitness, CRF, the capacity of the circulatory and respiratory systems to supply oxygen to muscles, is linked with better cognitive performance and lower risk of dementia long term, suggested the findings published by the British Journal of Sports Medicine. Scientists say that CRF declines increasingly every decade as we age, and skeletal muscle is lost. The lower the CRF, the stronger the predictor of strokes and heart attacks, and an early death from any cause, according to previous research. Most previous studies that investigated the impact of CRF on cognitive function or dementia risk included only small numbers of participants. But now Swedish scientists have studied a large sample of 61,000 people. That's a pretty good sample. All dementia-free between the ages of 39 and 70. They were followed up to 12 years after their enrollment in the UK Biobank study between 2009 and 2010. The 6-minute exercise test on a stationary bike was completed at the outset to estimate the CRF, while cognitive function was estimated using neuropsychological tests. Genetic predisposition for dementia was estimated using the polygenic risk score for Alzheimer's disease. During the follow-up period of up to 12 years, 553 people were diagnosed with dementia. That is 0.9%. For the analysis, participants were divided into 3 equal-sized groups, standardized for age and sex according to their CRF scores. And it showed that people with high CRF had higher cognitive function and a lower risk of dementia. All right, everybody, let's head to the gym. Let's get that cardio going. All right, and on that note, let's take a brief little commercial break, and we'll be back in just a minute with more good news here on the New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
And we're back, and this is a spectacular story. This is from Aurora, Illinois, and a mail carrier sees a man fall and rushes to help. So in a heartwarming story of quick action and unexpected friendship, Guy and Marcia Miller are welcoming postal worker Jalen Lockhart and his family to Thanksgiving dinner this year. The invitation came after Lockhart rushed to Guy's aid when the 75-year-old fell while walking his dog Bentley on November the 16th. Jalen, a United States Postal Service employee, was on his usual mail route when he noticed Guy struggling to maintain his balance in his rearview mirror. Moments later, Guy fell. Acting swiftly, Lockhart made a U-turn and ran to the scene. I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, Jalen recalled, but I knew that whatever he was going through on the ground, we were going to go through it together. Guy explained how the incident unfolded. I had this treat bag in my hand and it fell out of my hand. I bent over to pick it up, and at the same time, the dog lunged forward because he saw a squirrel or something. I lost my balance and hit my head on the grass. The fall left Guy bleeding, and Jalen quickly called 911. Determined to notify Guy's family, he asked neighbors for the address and managed to contact his wife, Marcia Miller. Video footage from the family's doorbell camera shows Jalen relaying the news to Marcia, who immediately rushed to her husband's side. Together, they guided Guy back home. Their daughter, Ashley Roberts, a nurse, soon arrived to assess Guy's condition. Despite the alarming fall, he escaped with only minor abrasions and bruising. Once we got the blood all taken care of, we realized there were no deep cuts, and Ashley checked him for a concussion. We were very, very thankful, Marcia said. The Millers were deeply moved by Jalen's actions and set out to find him afterward. A Facebook post by Roberts led to a reunion the very next day. Marcia extended an invitation for Lockhart and his family to join him for Thanksgiving. He took the time to come get family, and because of it, we've become family truly. I'm thankful. I'm looking forward to getting to know him better. He's an incredibly kind-hearted, humble person. Jalen's heroics not only prevented a potentially serious situation, but also forged a lasting bond. Boy, the ways we can create friendship are truly beautiful. And that is a very, very sweet story. I love that story. Well, here's a cute one. And, many of us can probably go back through our photo albums and find that old photograph. But wouldn't it be fun to recreate it? So 4 girlfriends recreate a photo from their first fun-loving vacation 50 years ago. How great is that? Look at that. So a group of fun-loving friends have recreated a photo from the first girls' getaway more than 50 years ago. The 4 gal pals, who are now nearly 70, recalled the week-long stay in a seaside resort so fondly that they vowed to do it again to celebrate their 70th birthdays. Carol Ansbro, Marion Bamforth, Susan Morris, and Mary Helwell all went on holiday together in 1972 to the town of Torquay in Devon, England. The women from West Yorkshire returned to the town this year to recreate their cherished getaway, and they wore outfits as close to the original as possible. How beautiful is that? We were only kids and so excited about staying in a cramped caravan and sharing each other's clothes. It felt really exotic and grown up being on our own without parents in the English Riviera. This is beautiful. This is just the type of fun, lighthearted thing. The way we stay connected. I mean, to be friends for 50 years, that's a beautiful thing in and of itself. So yay, ladies, you did a great thing and a great job. And that is fantastic. Okay, so keeping it fun and light in this Thanksgiving weekend news show. Here's a cafe where, in order to get a free coffee, you must come in dancing. I love that. Walk in and give us your best dance moves for 5 seconds, read a sign displayed on the entrance door of a coffee shop in Massachusetts. In our world as it exists today, social media virally ensued. Coffee Milano Cafe in Middleborough got the idea from a pizza shop that pulled off a similar promotion to help get people through the door and see the lovely, comfortable interior and great coffee. But they never imagined it would go viral. 7.6 million views on TikTok alone. Like, wow. We just thought it was going to be a small thing for the people that come in every day, Olivia Svensson, barista and social media director of the cafe, told the ABC News. Everybody likes to see people happy, she continued. It wasn't that the coffee was free, it is that people were able to express themselves. They're now planning a similar event for today, Black Friday. Various ideas include dance with your dog version. I love that. Well, way to go, little cafe in Massachusetts. There's a fun way to be, and I really, really love that idea of that type of promotion. That really is beautiful. All right, so here's another really inspiring story. It's a really unusual one. A colorblind artist is left starstruck after Tom Cruise met him to receive his portrait. Oh man, those are great portraits. On a lark, a colorblind artist contacted Tom Cruise's management team to see if the Top Gun star wanted to keep a portrait he had made of him. Wilf Elliott, who hails from East England town of Clacton, is colorblind and has made charcoal drawings of celebrities like Gareth Bale, Zara Larsson, and Sam Ryder. Having seen the 2022 action film Top Gun Maverick 18 months ago, he concluded it was one of the most enjoyable films he had seen. The portrait traveled through multiple people before it was finally given to Tom Cruise, who said he wanted to meet Elliott in person. The pair finally met last month after 9 months of planning, and they spent 20 minutes together. He asked me about my career and said it was so impressive. I shook hands with him multiple times, said Elliott. The people I've met before have all been big and incredibly lovely. This has been way above any expectations I've ever had. He was probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and he wanted to know about my career, he added. Wilf had also completed a second artwork to gift to him, but during the chat, Tom insisted on Wilf keeping it as a memory, and they took some photos together. Isn't that beautiful? I just, I'm always astounded at the way, you would think with color blindness that maybe he would decide not to be an artist. Or some people might say, oh, you can't do that because you can't see the colors correctly. But the truth is, if there's something you truly desire to do, the only thing stopping you would be you. So whatever that great leap is for you, do it. Take the leap. So here's another story that we're going to show you the video because this one's so hard to explain. A college student sportcaster may be blind, but he sees every play. Deja, would you give us that video, please? Maybe take me out. There we go.
Oh, what a great little ground ball just past the short and second baseman.
Last year, we introduced you to then high school senior Alan Wiley.
I'm reacting to what I hear.
An aspiring broadcaster from Ohio who is both blind and a sports encyclopedia.
Who is North Dakota State's mascot?
The bison.
Okay.
You have to say it bison. You can't say bison.
Well, I don't know if you can tell by the radio studio behind Alan during our interview 1 year later. But we have a big update on his journey to becoming the next voice of American sports.
When we finished our visit, he was like, Rowan, this is home. This feels like home.
Thank you.
In the past year, Alan received a big scholarship from Rowan University in Southern New Jersey to join their broadcast program. Part of that program is producing the official radio broadcast of the Philadelphia 76ers Development League team, the Delaware Bluecoats. Alan auditioned as a freshman and got chosen to be one of the 4 on-air commentators for this professional basketball team.
It is competitive for sure, and Alan deserved it.
Neil Hartman here runs this program, and he says he has never seen a broadcaster like Alan. I mean, how is he providing color commentary for a game that he cannot see?
How is your calculus working when you're telling the audience what's going on?
It's on overdrive, but it's a lot of listening. No detail is too small for me.
How about that for a response? You have a quick fast break layup, and then the Delaware Bluecoats say, what you can do, I can do better, my friend.
Well, after his first game a week and a half ago, the fans have already responded.
I could not believe it. He is amazing on the radio. How does he do that?
The school and team have started receiving emails from listeners who could just not get over Alan's talent. And as his father, Scott, reads those messages, how can the family not get emotional about his dreams starting to become a reality?
When it's people you don't know that appreciate your child.
It's surreal, really.
Is at-home needling
Oh, there you go. So, I mean, it's unreal to think of somebody blind calling the plays in a game. From New Jersey, this story is, really hard to believe. College sports know-it-all who landed a full scholarship in order to join his university broadcast team. If you saw him behind the broadcast desk and behind his big Ray Charles glasses, you might think the game was passing him by. After all, Alan Wiley is blind, but you'd be fooled because he doesn't miss a play. Isn't that remarkable? A blind person calling a sports event. Blew me away when I saw that. So I just wanted to share the little video clip with you because, You know, you need to hear it in that way. Okay, now here's another truly remarkable and heartwarming story. Two city cops reunite 104 missing kids with their families in India this year. Talk about heroes. Head Constable Seema Devi and Suman Huda of Delhi Police Outer North District have been lauded for their accomplishment with the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit. We don't have fixed duty hours. Whenever we receive information about missing kids, we just leave our homes, Huda told the Times. There are days when I don't see my kids, she smiled. Their marathon of cases took them across northern India, dealing with bad photographs, reticent locals, unfamiliar locations, and language barriers. Under the banner of Operation Milap, the searches took place between March and November. At times, they've dealt with cases where the child hasn't been seen in years, and outdated photographs have been the officers' only lead, which is when they typically have to conduct door-to-door searches with the help of willing locals, even beggars in one instance. At other times, they've relied on the cyber division to track mobile phone locations and walked across wide rural distances in complete unknown locales. We've walked for kilometers because of lack of transportation in such areas. Many people are ready to help us, but there are also those who think assisting police can lead to legal trouble. During the operation, most of the cases were down to elopement, drug addiction, or insufficient parental care. We are extremely proud of the exceptional work done by Seema and Suman in Operation Milap. Their achievement reinforces our resolve to combat child trafficking and guard our community, said the Director General of Delhi Police. This is remarkable, like to just drop things at a hat and go do the search. These two police officers deserve a nice warm hug from all of us, a little bit of love that we can send over the ocean to India. So that is beautiful. And lastly today, this story is really beautiful. Because a stranger had the mixture of compassion, bravery, and instincts to speak up, a little boy will live to become an adult. Little did Sarah Love know, but her newborn baby was suffering from a rare genetic disease that might have taken his life. Yes, he was jaundiced at birth, but pediatricians at the wellness checkup were reticent to ascribe it to anything serious and suggested she get 6-week-old Lincoln a bit of sunlight. It was a trip to an amusement park with their big, beautiful family, of which Lincoln was the 6th edition, that Love noticed a stranger taking inordinately long glances at her newborn. Before they could move on, the stranger decided to act on his instincts. He introduced himself and mentioned that he was a first responder. He said he noticed Lincoln and how very jaundiced he was, and he didn't want to scare us, but he just thought it might be a good idea for Lincoln to get some medical attention. Love would later say he only gave up that he was a firefighter in a neighboring community, but she took his advice seriously, even though he didn't say his name. Calling the pediatrician who earlier had dismissed Lincoln's jaundice, she referred them to a nearby hospital for some blood work. After arriving, little Lincoln was hooked up to IV fluids before it was eventually recommended that he be transferred to a specialty hospital in Orlando. At this hospital came tests and several misdiagnoses until it was identified as Alagille syndrome, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a rare genetic condition that affects the liver and heart and was responsible for Lincoln's deep-set eyes, pointed chin, and yellow skin. There's no cure for the condition, but pharmaceuticals can help patients live long lives in spite of it. Love had always been slightly on edge over Lincoln's appearance, but said it was the stranger's comments that pushed her over it. It was that extra added bit of encouragement that we needed, she said, adding to GMA that she's learned from the experience how there are no silly questions when it comes to your baby's health. Depending on how he responds to medication, Lincoln may eventually require a liver transplant, but will have to work alongside a nutritionist for the rest of his life to ensure he and his family can address nutrient deficiencies that he may develop. Love said that she uses this story to raise awareness online and in her community for this Alagille syndrome and how to look for it in infants. Her outreach is also meant to try and find the stranger who stood up to say something when he believed he ought to. I don't think there are enough words that can honestly describe how grateful our family is. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Love said in her message to the stranger. It was a tough thing to go through, but because of that one small thing that he did, look at how much of an impact he had on Lincoln, on our family. I just want to say thank you. So the next time you're out for a stroll or you're in a busy mall or you're busy, chatting with people and you notice something out of the norm with somebody else, take a moment, introduce yourself, and just express your concern from a place of a loving, compassionate heart. It just might be listened to, and it just might save a life. Well, I'm Barbara Jean, and I am so grateful to be here this evening, this wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. And just want to let you know I'll be back again next week with more good news. And we get our news from a couple of places, mainly the goodnewsnetwork.org and also Sunny Skies. So, and Skies is SKYZ. So, if you're looking for good news in between our broadcasts, you can definitely get it there. This is Barbara Jean signing off for the Good News Show here on the New Thought Media Network. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And by the way, consider giving a donation to the New Thought Media Network. Let's keep this good news on the air, maybe even increasing it from one day a week to, 7. Anyway, that's all for me. Have a wonderful, beautiful Thanksgiving weekend. I'm grateful to be here with you as a Canadian, and I'm just so grateful that you're all celebrating this weekend in a beautiful way. Take good care of each other. Know that you are a blessing. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Spiritual Center, Kitchener, Om Center for Spiritual Living, La Mesa, Satya Center, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for making New Thought Media Network a place to be. Please come be you. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.